A 32-year-old woman is behind bars and is accused of stabbing her elderly grandparents. At 3:44 a.m. on Tuesday the 4th of July, authorities responded to a home at 702 Burgin Street in Thomasville, North Carolina on reports of a disturbance. When officers arrived at the scene, they found a 73-year-old woman and a disabled 75-year-old man suffering from multiple stab wounds. The victims are reportedly married. The two victims were rushed to Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist in a stable condition. Police identified Kristen Billings, the victim's granddaughter, as the suspect. Authorities said she hid her grandparents' cell phone before fleeing the scene on foot, and she was wanted by police. Police announced that Kristen is homeless and have asked anyone with information of her whereabouts to come forward. On the morning of the 6th of July, a customer at a Sheetz gas station on South Main Street in Archdale, roughly 6 miles away from the crime scene, recognised her at the business. A witness contacted employees who then alerted law enforcement. Archdale officers responded, but Kristen had already left the scene by soliciting a ride from an unwilling person. At 8:44 a.m. that morning, officers located the vehicle and arrested Kristen. Kristen was transported to the Thomasville Police Department for processing. She is charged with 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious bodily injury, and 1 count of interfering with 911 communication. She's held at the Davidson County Jail on a $500,000 bond. Dwayne Lenny lives in the neighbourhood and was familiar with the elderly couple. He said Kristen didn't live at the home, and the couple was just trying to help their granddaughter through a rough time. I think the worst part of it is she didn't just do something to them, it's affected the whole family, he said. Her life is forever altered, and she's forever altered her relationship with everyone in her family because of what she did. The motive in the attack is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. A 27-year-old man is behind bars after he fatally beat his 56-year-old uncle with a dumbbell weight and hid his body in a closet. At just before 1 p.m. on Tuesday the 27th of June, authorities responded to a home in the 4400 block of Vegas Valley Drive in Las Vegas, Nevada on report of a physical altercation. When officers arrived, they found an unresponsive man suffering from visible injuries. Medical personnel pronounced the man dead at the scene. Detectives identified the victim's nephew, Jorge Patel, as the primary suspect, alleging he battered the victim earlier in the day in what police described as an unprovoked attack. Prior to the beating death, Jorge's mother got a call from the victim, Leonelle Blandon, claiming her son was acting out of control and throwing chairs and various items at him. Jorge's mother left work to go home to defuse the situation. When she arrived, she found blood on the floor and wall inside the trailer, which Jorge was cleaning up. When she asked her son where Leonelle was, he refused to tell her. The mother then exited the home and called 911. Police arrived and they found blood on the carpet, walls, doors, and on a doorbell that had been ripped out of the wall. Jorge was found on his knees next to a bloody towel with his hands behind his back. An officer asked Jorge what was going on, to which he replied following the rules of engagement. "I'm going to cut the bullshit," he said. "He's in my closet dead." Leonelle's unresponsive body was found in the closet, which had been barricaded with a glass table and other objects. A 10-pound dumbbell weight was found with blood on it, along with drag marks in the bedroom. Leonelle had multiple contusions and abrasions to his head and broken teeth. In an interview with police, Jorge's mother told them that her brother Leonelle was homeless a week or 2 earlier, and she allowed him to live with her temporarily until he got on his feet. She described her brother as very mellow, and said he had recently been hired at a McDonald's on Boulder Highway. When talking about Jorge, she said her son had struggled with drugs since he was 14 years old and sold marijuana in high school. She said her son had a child with a woman he allegedly abused. She also said he has an undisclosed medical condition for which he wasn't taking medication. Jorge's mother agreed to let her son live with her as long as he didn't do anything crazy, break things or get physical with her. She said Jorge had been mentally wasted and talked crazy about the FBI and the government. Jorge told detectives that he acted in self-defense. He said his uncle wasn't actually his uncle, and that he was engaging in genocide and multiple murders with the military and the US president. Jorge said he hit Leonelle, then followed him into a bedroom. The two fought, and at one point Leonelle got out into a hallway, but Jorge caught up with him, took him down and didn't allow him to leave. Jorge said that he then picked up a 10-pound dumbbell weight and hit Leonelle 10 to 15 times in the head and smashed his skull in. After killing his uncle, he then dragged his body to the guest bedroom and stuffed it into a closet before blocking it off with furniture. He said he felt guilty that he'd not killed Leonelle sooner to prevent more deaths. Police arrested Jorge and charged him with open murder with a deadly weapon and first-degree kidnapping. He remains held at the Clark County Detention Center without bond. 30-year-old Melissa Rollinson is behind bars for fatally shooting 36-year-old Manuel Manzano. At 6:45 p.m. on Tuesday the 4th of July, authorities responded to a residence at 1204 Breezy Valley Drive in Cordova, Tennessee on a call of a domestic disturbance. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Emmanuel laying on the garage floor with a gunshot wound to his chest. He was transported to Regional 1 Hospital in a critical condition, where he died from his injuries. Detectives identified Melissa as a suspect. Authorities said that minutes before the shooting, Melissa called police to tell them that she and Emmanuel got into a domestic dispute while driving to the home. The relationship between the victim and the suspect has not been disclosed, and it's unclear what the argument was about. Melissa was arrested and charged with second-degree murder and is held at the Shelby County Jail. The investigation into the matter continues,